Let's dive into Gigi's training so when we get home we can stay nice and consistent. When we get home, we give Gigi a command, and she does this command. We're going to either pet, praise, or reward her to let her know she's doing a good job. This is going to help us build a nice, strong reward history. A reward history is a positive association with doing an action. The more positive Gigi sees these actions as, the more often and the more likely she's going to just give us these good actions and these good behaviors. Now, if Gigi decides to ignore the command that we are giving her, we're going to make sure that we follow through with the training equipment in a nice, timely manner. Dogs learn in pictures, so we have about 1.3 seconds to either pet, praise, or reward her for her good behavior or use the training equipment to follow through. So let's go ahead and talk about her first command. Her first command is heel. Heel means to walk beside us politely on the left-hand side with a nice loose leash. When she's doing this, we're going to either pet her, praise her, or reward her to, again, let her know she's doing a great job. Good girl, Gigi. Awesome job, Gigi. Good heel. Now, if by chance she was to walk ahead of us, that's when we're going to use the training equipment to follow through. How are we going to use the training equipment? So the first training part of the training equipment is going to be her prong collar. So this is going to be the prong collar. We attach the leash to the spinning D-ring. This collar is not to be big enough to go on and off over her head. We do have to take the links apart. So to do that, we're going to hold the leash, or we're going to hold the collar so that the links lay parallel. We're going to push the top link down the prongs of the second link. So we're going to hold on to these little U shapes, and we're going to push that top one down. To put it back on, we're going to squeeze the prongs together and put them through the two little loops. Now this is all about technique, not strength. So how are we going to use this when we're heeling and she pulls forward, or if she decides to ignore a command that we are giving? Well, what we are going to do is we're going to mark the behavior that we don't want with a no, and then we're going to do a slight pop and release of the leash, and then tell her the command again to remind her what she's supposed to be doing. So again, using heel. She's walking beside us, she pulls ahead, we're going to say no, heel, and she will go ahead and get back into her position. The second item of our training equipment is going to be her remote collar. So on both the remote and on the collar is going to be a red little circle. That's going to be how we turn the collar on. We're going to go ahead and touch the remote's red circle to the collar's red circle, and a green light is going to flash on. It's going to flash periodically to let us know that it is still on. If it needs to be charged, the green light is going to turn to an orange light, and that's how we're going to know that it's time for it to charge. To turn the collar back off, same thing. Touch the circle on the remote to the circle on the collar, and a red light is going to flash to indicate that the collar is off. To turn the remote on, there's a large black button on the back. We're going to press and hold that button down until the screen turns on. Once the screen is on, we know the remote is on. To turn it off, same thing. The large black button, press and hold until the screen turns off. Once that screen's off, your remote is off. So how are we going to use this to follow through if Gigi does not do the command in which we are asking? Again, we are going to mark the unwanted behavior with the verbal word no, and we're going to use the big black S button on the side, the black S button. So we're heeling, for example. She walks forward, we're going to say no, button, and then we're going to repeat heel. So walking forward, no, heel. So our next command is going to be sit. Sit was demonstrated in the door manners video. Sit is a short-term duration stay. We do not teach the dogs the word stay. It is implied when it comes to sit and when it comes to the command down. So when we walk her to the door to go and leave, to whether we're going to the store, to the vet's office, we're going on a walk, we're going to have her sit next to that door. We're going to praise her and reward her for sitting. We're going to remind her to stay sitting. We're going to then open the door, and then we will either tell her free, which means that she is no longer in a command and she has the freedom to go through that door, or we are going to tell her heel and we will walk through that door together. Again, once she is through that door, we're going to make sure that we are praising and rewarding her to let her know that she did something really good. She did what we were asking her to do. So the next command is going to be down. Again, down is a long-term duration stay. This was demonstrated with down in the lobby. So we are going to tell Miss Gigi down. She's going to lay down. We are going to praise her. Yes, Gigi, good down. When we go to give her the reward, we're going to put that reward on the floor because dogs are going to follow their nose. So if we go to hand her that treat, she's going to lift her nose to take it. And that can lead to her either sitting up or even possibly standing. So again, when rewarding her, we're going to drop that treat on the ground. If by chance she was to get up, if she has the lead on her, we're going to tell her no and pop and release that leash down towards the ground until she lays down. When she lays down, she does not get a treat until she has been laying down for a moment. Our next command is going to be place. Place is a barrier stay. We use an elevated bed for this. This is a great command to use when people are coming over or if you just want her to be in a calm state of mind. So we tell her place, she runs to her bed, and when we go to reward her, we're going to drop those treats onto the bed so that she believes that the bed is what is rewarding her. The bed is what's giving her the treats, and it's going to build that nice, strong reward history with the bed. Now, again, it is a barrier stay, so all 4 feet have to stay on that bed. She is not to touch the ground until you go back and you tell her free, because we do not free from a distance. We go back to the bed and then we tell her free for her to get off. This is to be a very calm place for her. She is not to be chewing on anything except for her toys, so she can't chew on the bed and she can't chew on the leash, and she's not to be barking, so no whining and no barking. Our next command is going to be come when called. We recommend using a nice long lead when working on this with her, even if you are in an enclosed area, just for the beginning. Especially use a lead if you are in a large unenclosed area, just for her safety. So when doing come when called, you're going to use a nice loud firm tone when calling her. When she turns and she starts coming to us, we are instantly going to start praising her. Yes, Gigi, good Gigi. At the same time, we're going to be backing up a little bit to invite her into our space. Dogs love to chase things, so if we are backing away, she's going to get more excited to come to us. When she gets to us, we put her in a sit, and then we reward her to let her know she did a good job. If by chance Gigi decides to not come to us, we are going to again mark that with a no, use the black button, and tell her come. Or you can mark it with a no and then start reeling her in while telling her to come. When she comes to us, or when she starts to come to us, even if we have to follow through with the equipment, we are still going to praise her on her way, and we are still going to have her sit and reward her when she gets to us, because we want the strongest reward history when it comes to the command come. And we want to be the most positive thing outside for her. We want her to be more interested in us and what we're doing than what the squirrel on the other side of the yard is doing. The next command is going to be leave it. I recommend using dog-safe foods when doing this. We are going to drop a piece of food on the ground, tell her to leave it. When she leaves it, we're going to reward her, and then we're going to tell her okay so that she can pick that food back up off the ground. And if it's something that you were to drop that's not dog safe, we are not going to tell her okay and let her get it, but we will still reward her for ignoring what it is that fell on the ground. So those are all of Gigi's commands. Remember to stay consistent and have fun, and let's go ahead and see her in action. Sit. Sit. Down. 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 Breathe. Heel. Down. Good girl. Down. 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 Good girl. Down. Good girl. Good down. Free. Heel. Good job. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Ready? You're free. Free. Leave it. Yes. Okay. Good girl. More? Yay! Free. Leave it. Good job. Okay. Yes, Gigi! What a good girl. What a good job. Let's go ahead and go over Navy's remote collar. So both the remote and the collar have a small red circle on them. To turn on and off the collar, we're going to touch those circles together. A green light is going to flash on and continue to flash periodically to remind you that this collar is on. To turn it off, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to touch those circles together, and a red light is going to flash on to let you know that the collar has in fact been turned off. To turn on and off the remote, there's this large black L button in the back. We're going to press and hold that until the screen turns on. When the screen is on, your remote is on. To turn it off, same thing, press and hold that button. It's going to turn the screen off. When the screen is off, we know that the remote is off. So when we're using this remote, we're going to focus heavily on the black S button. That is going to be our follow-through button. It is currently at a level 30. That is the level in which has worked for her here at the facility. Now this could be too high or it could be too low for when you get home. How do you know? Well, if you're using that button all of the time when you're at home, then that level is going to be too low for her, and we're going to increase it by 5. Now if you aren't really needing to use it a lot, but when you use it she's flinching, that's how we're going to know that that level is too high, and then we're going to decrease that level by 5. How do we do that? It's going to be done with the knob here at the top. As you can see, I'm spinning the knob and that number is not changing. That's due to the fact that it is in fact locked. So to unlock it, we're going to press and hold until that 1D starts flashing. Once that 1D starts flashing, we know that it is unlocked. It is a very sensitive knob. That is why the number changed when I unlocked it. So we're going to go ahead and turn it back down to the 30 where she's currently at here at the facility. Once we get the level in which we want, we're going to again press and hold until the 1D stops flashing. That's how we know that this level is locked in. Excuse me. The next button is the red S button. That is the emergency only button. That is the boost button, and what it's going to do is it's going to double the level of the follow through for her. That has never been used while here at the facility because again, her max out level has been a 30 for the level of excitement which has been used. And again, it is an emergency button. What's an emergency button used for? For instances where she's loose and she's running after a squirrel across the street, or in some kind of situation where she's not listening, she's not paying attention, and it could possibly really hurt her. So again, it is only used in emergencies and it has not been used here at the facility. So the level 30 works all the way up until here. If her excitement while chasing a squirrel or a ball or anything across the street is up here, that black S button is not going to reach. So that's when we're using that boost, because it's going to make sure that it reaches that level of excitement. The next button is this T button, this black T button on the side, and that is a vibrate. That can eventually, farther down the road, be used for a warning for her, but right now it is not necessary where she's at in her training. Right now we need to stay very consistent with using that black S button. On the back we have the power button, which is that large black L button. That L button also doubles as a light on her collar. So if you just tap it, it's going to turn a strobe. There we go. It's going to turn a strobe light on the collar. If you tap it twice, it's going to leave that light on for you. If you tap it 3 times, it's going to go ahead and turn that light off. There's also this little MC button. That MC button was used at the very, very beginning of her training with this collar, and what it does is it changes her buttons, the black and the red button, from continuous to momentary. That was used again at the beginning at a very, very low level to get her to have a positive reinforcement with this collar, so there was no fear base behind it. So when she felt the very low level, we would reward her with lots of treats. Again, it is no longer necessary in her training for these buttons to be on continuous, so now they are on momentary. Now, both of these, the remote and the collar, are waterproof. So there is the little charging base on the back with this nice little cover. We're wanting to make sure that when we're done charging that those covers are firmly placed back into their little holes. That way it's going to help keep water and debris out so that they want to continue to charge. This collar is to be worn for 12 to 14 hours a day. So first thing in the morning, go ahead and turn it on and put it on her, and it's to be taken off last thing at night. So right before she goes to bed, we'll go ahead and take it off and turn it off. Now these do hold charge for about 48 hours, about 2 days, as long as we are turning them off at night when we take them off of her. So what comes with her training, or with her e-collar, with her training collar? In the box is the original little collar for her that the stimulator was put on. We did change it out to one that has a bungee, so it gives a little bit more give, and it's a lot quicker to put on and off with this little clasp than the buckle that they have on, let's say, belts. It also comes with a little tool to change out the prongs, these little things. And it comes with a longer set. It's not really necessary for her to have those on because she is not a long-haired dog. It also comes with a 2-bay charger, so you can go ahead and charge the collar and the remote at the same time. I do recommend not charging them overnight because of the fact that it can wear the battery down. It only takes an hour or two for these to charge, so again, it's really not necessary to leave it on the charger completely overnight. Underneath the tray is going to be the instruction manual. So if you do need to raise or lower her level and you can't remember how, that is right in here. And this collar does have a 2-year warranty. So if by chance something was to happen, it doesn't want to charge, it's not connecting with the collar, you can go ahead and get a hold of this company, let them know what's going on, and they should be able to help you out and get that replaced for you. So again, have fun and stay consistent.